If my voice sounds a bit rough, that's because it's really early in the morning, and I wanted to give my thoughts on this intro as it's fresh in my mind since I just saw it. Originally, I was just going to talk about the new intro in my episode 32 review of Pokemon Journeys. However, as I was writing the script, I realized that I had a lot more to say than I thought I did, so this is going to be a separate video on its own. Let's talk about this new intro. First of all, this intro is receiving quite a bit of buzz, even causing Pokemon to trend in Japan. This intro is interesting in that it changes the visuals and the song from the opening series, but not the lyrics to the song. Basically, it's the exact same song but just slightly different. And I wonder why that is. If they wanted to, I don't think anyone would have objected to them changing the song. But then again, this new intro has only been around for about 30 episodes, and they usually try not to change a show's intro unless a new season is starting, which could be the reason why. Anyways, the song isn't the main focus of the new opening. Not really. It's the visuals. There's so many spoilers in this visuals that I'm surprised that they didn't wait to put it out. But then again, maybe they wanted people to be excited for the future, and that's why they did that. So, what does the visuals tell us? Well, the first thing I noticed is the focus on the three legendary birds, Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno. They get their regular images in the initial sequence when Ash and Go are going through the different legendaries from the different regions, but not only that, they also get their own sequence outside of that. Only one other legendary gets that, so I'm interested to see what that'll mean for them in the future, how they'll interact with the story, and what they're going to be doing. Then we have the sequence that kind of reminds me of the sequence from the final Sun and Moon opening as Ash and Go's Pokemon are fighting each other. This part of the intro really gives a hint, well, not really even a hint, a spoiler, to the future and specifically what Pokemon Go will capture in the future. In the intro, he has Aerodactyl on his side, so does that mean that Go will capture an Aerodactyl soon? Possibly. It also shows Flygon on Go's sides. And since we know that there's a Flygon episode coming relatively soon, this seems to confirm that Go will catch that Flygon in that episode. Of course, the Team Rocket prize machine is also prevalent here, getting a bit all on its own. And if you want to know how I feel about that, you can click the video in the iCard. However, the more interesting thing to me is what we see afterwards, which is Gigantomax Pikachu facing off against Gigantamax Dreadnought. Now, yes, it's the same scene from episode 13 of the series, but it's pretty obviously hinting at the fact that we will see Gigantamax Pikachu in the future, along with the Darkest Day storyline, and that is surprising to me. I knew that the Darkest Day storyline would be coming eventually. They've hinted at it, obviously, but I didn't think it would be this early. It seems like they might be following the Sun and Moon model where they have one major conflict at the series finale of each season, the first one being the Darkest Day. Then they can focus on something else in the second season, and in this case, I think the second season might be Ash taking on, or at least heavily focusing on, his Galar adventure, as we see Bee, Raihan, Leon, and also Ash walking out into what seems like the stadium in Galar. From those four, I'm surprised how much Raihan is in the teaser. I can understand Leon since Ash is chasing him, but if we were to take a look at episode 27, when Raihan made his debut, him and Ash really don't interact with each other apart from one moment, yet he's pretty integral in this opening. We knew that from some interviews that Raihan would become a rival to Ash, but I guess that could be happening soon. Either way, it is interesting to glance at the potential future. Now, the next thing are what most people, including myself, am excited for, which is the appearance of the Sun and Moon gang in the intro. Now, similar to the poster from season 22 of the Sun and Moon series, do not expect them to stay long at all. In fact, I would be shocked if they got more than 2 episodes maximum. But I do enjoy seeing them since we all knew that Ash would eventually have to travel to Alola. I know that a lot of people were worried that he might go back to Alola and not meet a single one of his companions again, which would be a tragedy since his Alola companions really feel like family. However, the bigger implication to this is just the fact that now that his old companions from Sun and Moon are appearing, that gives the chance for other companions from other series to return. Again, don't expect any of them to stick around for long, but since this show is almost a quarter of a century old, it is great to see nods to the past to the fans who've been watching for that long. I didn't even mention the fact that in this intro during the Darkest Day sequence, we also see both of Ash's Riolu evolved and Go's Raboot evolved as they face off against Eternatus. But that's also because so many things are happening here that even though those are massive deals, which is going to affect the future of the series more than almost anything else in this intro, it could be something you accidentally miss. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, by the way. My only real issue with this is just them spoiling the future evolutions. In Sun and Moon, the intros were made in a position to be able to hold back the evolutions showing up in the intro until they actually happened. In this case, they probably didn't want to redraw the opening every time someone evolved or changed, so they're letting that plot point slip. I really wish that wasn't the case since it clearly telegraphs what's going to happen in the future, but oh well. I guess it leads to the question of when it'll happen, which is also as fun to speculate. So yeah, that's the intro. The back half definitely has more allusions to the future, while the front half of the intro seems like a nod to the last intro, sharing similar styles and even similar concepts. If this intro was meant to rev up excitement for the future, it definitely did that well. It also spoiled a bunch of things which I wish it didn't, but oh well. You take the positives for what they are, and it will be interesting to see how long before we get another opening change. I'm really looking forward to the future of Journeys as hinted on by this intro. And that's it for me. Make sure to check out my episode 32 review of Pokemon Journeys, that's going to come on later. Subscribe, like, share, all of that good stuff, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.